Attention, bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn. So please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, Yellers! We are the Matterhorn Yellers. I am your host, Jackie, and we have...
Japheth.
And...
Luxo. No, it's Peter.
Good morning. Good morning.
And today we are going to be talking about Pixar shorts. They're great. They're
comfortable.
They
breathe.
The cotton breathes.
They have like a Hawaiian style, gym lasser.
It's our new merch. Just kidding. We don't have merch.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about Pixar shorts. The shorts that,
They're best known for the beginning of a new Pixar film.
A new film, yes.
At least that's what they were.
That's how I got really introduced to them.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, these are great.
And now they're releasing just general Pixar shorts on Disney Plus.
Yeah, popcorn shorts, and then they have kind of the spark shorts, kind of like more social. There's different, and there's kind of like continuations, kind of like extras to the movie.
Yes.
And my thought is, it's basically a children's book, but a video.
Yeah, I think that's a safe way of like saying it.
And I love them. I mean, there are many shorts. You can watch a lot of them on Disney Plus.
There's like 60 of them.
There's a lot.
And you can see them all like sequentially with Pixar through the years.
Yes.
That's how I went through them. There's like 60 of them. And I saw them. All of them. Except for Sporky. Is that what it is?
Forky?
Forky.
Forky asks a question.
I hate Forky. So
I enjoyed this series. It was cute. It was fun.
Don't expect anything from me on that.
So we're going to talk about some of our favorites, shorts. And if you haven't seen them or you're like, oh, I don't remember that one, you can watch them all on Disney Plus.
All of them are Disney Plus.
If you don't have Disney Plus, what are you doing with your life? No, I'm kidding.
You can probably look them on YouTube.
You're probably already subscribed if you're listening to it. I'm just going to be honest. If you're listening to our podcast, you probably have Disney Plus.
Yeah. If not, they're on YouTube, I think.
Or we're just a cheap knockoff.
Yeah.
Or we're free knockoff. We're not cheap. We're not even cheap. We're free.
We're free.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll start with one, and we're going to talk about Party Crasher.
No,
right?
Party Central.
Oh, Party Central.
Oh, right. For
Yeah.
the big one.
It's probably the best one.
It's
definitely one of the funniest ones, for sure.
So it's a Monsters, Inc.
Monsters University.
Oh, Monsters University. And they're having like a sorority parties, like
Fraternity.
Fraternity.
So all these fraternities that we saw in the movie are having their own parties. And then, what is it? Uma Kappa? Uzma Kappa.
Yeah.
They are having theirs. And they're, as we know, they're not popular. And Mike and Sully know this. And so they
come up with a plan.
They come up with a plan. And with this plan, they use the doors to go in and steal the party from the other fraternities and sororities and make it at their place.
I just love the fact they used two doors to the same house. So they use like the parents, dual closets to be able to transport things from one room to another. Like that was genius.
And just the shorts of them, how they do it, and
how they steal the food and the people.
And we're like, we need more
we need girl. Where are all the girls? And so they bring in a sorority couch, and it becomes, as you vision, like what a big college party would be like. It happens. It's hilarious. I love the call sign of like furry rainbow. It's like furry rainbow, food's coming. It's like, and they're like doing limbo, and they're using like the doors. So they're all transported to this place, and it's the party of the year. And then the best part comes in, as we know, this fraternity's at a mom's home, and the mom comes home.
She's like, "What are you doing?"
She's all shocked at her son, and she does his full name, and the party's all silent. She's like, "Are you door jamming?" And she's like, no. Wait, what's door jamming? And you learn that the mom has got a great party kind of trick, and it's just epic.
Yeah.
I don't want to steal it this scene because it just builds up so great. As she goes in one door, out the other, and like the parents are just frightened. Oh,
if you haven't seen this short, Party Central, go and watch it. It is one of the funniest things.
It's a must.
Ever.
If you've seen the movie, it's just a good supplement to it. It's just fun. I laughed. I watched it like 2 or 3 times after that. I'm pressed for time. I'm like, I gotta watch it again.
Right, it's great.
All right, Japheth, give me one of your...
I won't go over the next one. We've already partied out right here. I'm going to go with Presto.
Okay.
Presto is like an original flick, or original short, where you have a rabbit and a magician. And the magician is got a magical hat where he sticks his hand in one hat and out the other, he can pull the rabbit. But... he's pressed for time, and the rabbit wants the carrot, and the rabbit's got sass. And so the rabbit basically does very physical comedy where you've got the magician sticking his finger in electric sockets and falling. It's just a fun kind of like cartoon. Mm-hmm. Something that you would see they would do like Walt in like the 40s or 30s.
It definitely has that reminiscent vibe of those old style cartoon stories.
Very physical, like Donald Duck style comedies or Goofy. Mm-hmm. And so it's fun. I just enjoy I remember watching in the theater and going, this is just fun, good, like entertainment right here. And it's not committal, and you watch it and I was like, I can watch this again anytime. And so that was one of my top ones.
Okay, I'm gonna go with one I know like my wife loved a lot as well. I believe it's called Piper.
Oh, really?
Oh, Piper. Okay.
Yes,
it's cute.
It's a cute little film about this little baby bird. The mom had been feeding the bird this whole time, and so now the mom's gonna teach the baby bird on how to get its own food.
Yeah, like when mom gets the seed. And the bird sees, like, little baby bird sees it, and then they're like, oh, I'm ready, and opens up the mouth. And
right,
like,
he's all waiting for it. Mom's like, nope, you're going to come out here and
gotta
do it
leave
yourself.
The nest.
And so comes out and, like, tries to do it, but then, like, gets overwhelmed by a wave. And, like...
It's scared.
It gets scared,
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think that is truth-telling to anyone learning something new, especially, you're doing something and then something just crashes on you. Like, you feel discouraged on wanting to go out and do this thing again, but this baby bird's hungry. And so he goes out there again and it learns something new that none of the other birds know.
Yeah.
He learns from a little
lobster crab
thing.
I can never get them straight.
I forgot what sort of I don't think it's like a crab. It's something else, but it's a little creature that would, when the waves come, would bury itself in the water.
Not a crawfish.
No.
It's a crustacean type.
Some sort of crustacean, yeah. So it would crawl under the water as the waves would come, and so the bird does this because all the birds left and it's too late for the bird to leave, and so it buries itself like the little crab thing and realizes it can see all the food everywhere, and so she uses that as an opportunity to get all the food for all the birds, and all the birds are partaking in the things that they're finding. And the one thing that the bird was afraid of and almost traumatized it became the thing that like helped it become successful. So like it had a really good message. Just the one thing like a lot of these shorts have, there's really good messages that you can really learn from. So like if you want to teach your kids certain things, like some of these shorts are really good at doing that.
And also for adults, you're like, oh, I should be kind. So I want to talk about the Blue Umbrella.
You like that one?
I loved that one.
I fell asleep. It was too late when I was watching it. I fell asleep. So I need your perspective.
So I just love it because I think in this short they were really playing around with animation and different features like water. they were playing around with the animation of water, and it's really beautiful. And then basically it's this blue umbrella
And a sea of black umbrellas
and
in
the
the city.
sea of black in the city, and it's raining, and nothing too
I do
exciting.
like how the objects of the cities have faces.
Characters
They
and
personify them
faces,
in
yes.
that way. And that was the most intriguing part for me, was watching them. And then seeing how they're working to like help the blue umbrella.
Yes, and then the blue umbrella sees a red umbrella.
Yes. Very foxy.
Yes. And the blue umbrella falls in love, but loses the red umbrella and all the other...
So the blue umbrella gets lost. Oh yeah, they lost the red umbrella.
Yes.
Like he can't see it anymore.
Yeah.
I gave it a gender. I'm sorry. I don't know what gender it is.
And other objects in the city that have personalities and characters are helping to bring the two together. And it's just a fun story.
The
Like,
blue one
love
gets
story.
battered, and you almost
Yes.
feel like it's discarded, but it gets picked up. And then the red one's on top. And
Mm-hmm.
then just, oh, hello. Oh, hello.
Right.
Like a little love story.
It's
It's kind of
just-
like a 101 Dalmatians, where like,
Yes.
Yes.
It had a lot of vibe. And there's an Easter egg in Luca for the blue umbrella.
Is there?
Yeah. The blue umbrella.
Oh.
It's what the friend is carrying it at the final race so that he doesn't get wet in the storm. So he's trying to give him the umbrella so that he can finish the race.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, they love putting those
Oh
Easter
yeah,
eggs in there.
Pixar and their Easter eggs.
I just love it because it's just like a fun little love story between just two objects that it's just like a fun imagination and creativity. And it's also really pretty. I enjoyed the short.
It was aesthetically pretty to watch. Like I said, it was 11 o'clock at night.
A
and I was
lot of these shorts, you can tell it's Pixar flexing. It's them flexing
Oh,
on like
yeah.
how good they are at what they do. You know.
For sure. Peter, did you have one of the early ones that you liked?
The
Which
early
one, like the
ones.
early ones, like pre-Toy Story, that time period? Which
Okay.
one stuck out to you?
The snow globe one.
The
Oh.
Knick-Knack.
Knick-Knack.
Yes.
Yes, that was a fun one. I enjoyed that one. Like with the snowman who wants to hang out with the beach.
Trinkets.
The beach-
tree.
The mermaid.
The mermaids.
No, mermaid's the end. It's just a girl in a bikini.
Yes,
Yes.
the Miami, like the little knickknacks people would pick up on vacation. But the snow globe wants to escape.
But he's stuck in a snow globe.
Yeah.
And so it's him trying to get out so that he can go hang out with the other knickknacks. And
It's kind of like a precursor to Toy Story, where they
One of
come
them,
to
yeah.
life, where they all come to life when nobody's around.
yeah.
And so this is, again, this pre-Toy Story. So it's interesting how you see, as you go through the progressions of Pixar through the time, you could see the little things that they're trying to explore with.
I as symbolic as the tin toy was, that baby was scary.
That's my
Oh.
bottom one. I was like, I can't stand the creepy
Oh,
kid.
I couldn't even
Well,
watch it again because the baby is so frightening.
That was a creepy baby. Again,
I looked at my child and going, I'm glad you don't look like that.
There was a reason why they didn't do people in Toy Story so much. They focused on plastic toys because they knew that they could pull that off.
It's the human.
It was early animation for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got one. It's called Loop. And this one came out
Okay.
recently.
Yeah, that was a good one. I liked
You have two kids at a canoe camp, kind of in
yeah.
the city, and you have one kid who's just outgoing adventure, and then there's one girl, Renee. She's nonverbal autistic, and Marcus, the other kid, he shows up late, and so he has to ride, or is encouraged to ride with Renee. And so with Renee, all she has is her AAC device, where she keeps hitting it for the stimulation. Was it like a dog bark?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and so they go in the canoe. You know, she likes to canoe, and through their adventures, I thought it was a very beautiful humanist piece where
Yes.
they are together. They're two human beings. Marcus gets to learn, that she, is stimulated by different things, and she's just wants what we want, you know, in a way, and they become friends, and I get little goosebumps just thinking about it. I like it. It sparks a good, warm feeling, and it opens up. I'm aware of some of this because my wife is in the field of speech and language pathology, and she deals with people who are nonverbal, and especially people who are on the spectrum. And so I hear, you know, different treatments that she works with people in this community, and it was fun to watch it in action. And she could explain things to me, and she goes, "Oh, that's an AAC device, which is an augmented alternative communication." So you use the image like, "I gotta poop." The poop symbol, that's universal. You like, you know, it worked out. And so I just thought it was a beautiful piece, and it was part of their Spark shorts where it just sparks a thought and perspective. And so I loved it.
Well, and along with that one, with the Spark shorts, they have Float.
That's my next one on there.
I mean, that one almost made me cry, like how like realistic that is. So basically, it's
floating kids. They're the worst. Gotta put rocks in the backpack. Studio kid.
But basically, it's his father. He has this newborn new baby, and just is like super happy, and the baby starts floating.
It's different.
It's different. It's a different type of baby, and it's floating, and it's exciting. But then when he's outside, he sees other children. The father sees other children and parents, and it's just a normal, a typical experience that I would say is portrayed on TV and media and stuff like that.
Yeah, the kid's like, "I want to be where the kids are."
And then the kid, you know, the child starts floating, and then, you know, other people are looking at it a little bit different.
The parents aren't horrified. They're just like, "What's going on over there?" Like,
yeah.
Just that cynical judgment.
If anything, they're more judgmental on the father than they are the child. They're more reacting to the father's reaction, not so much of the child who's floating.
Yeah, I think there's like a two kind of experience where they're like, "Yeah, that was strange," but like you're acting like there's something wrong.
Right.
Well, there's this moment where the father takes the child to school and puts rocks in his backpack and wears a hood, and so that way he looks normal and stays put and doesn't float. And then there's a moment the kid just like comes free. And it's just having fun on the playground, but then he
pulls him down.
Yeah, the father pulls him down and starts.
He goes, "Why can't you be normal?" And it just stops everything. And the kid's, like, his float stops. And you see the tears. And it's just like, it's one of those moments you see as a parent. You're like, "Oh, wow." Like, it's a powerful, like, I mean, like I said, I'm new to the parenthood thing, but I was like, "Oh, wow, this is hitting me at a whole different level." And so it's like one of those moments you're like, you don't want to stifle your kids' like fun.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
It's one of those things. It's just like you have to learn to roll with the differences in children, because no one child is going to be like another. I see that with both of my kids. Like, one kid is more like me and the other one's more like my wife, and it's so funny because the opposite. So like the one that's like my wife likes to hang out with me, and the one that like me likes to hang out with my wife. So like it's just kind of funny how it works out like that. But like, you know, like sometimes as parents, I'm victim of this. I have those moments where I'm like, just stop acting like a monkey. Okay? Like, I have those moments too, but like, you know, like, I think this short kind of brings into that moment of like, you know what, like, every kid is different. We need to be celebrating these differences, you know, like, we need to like not be ashamed of what our child is. Yeah, so to speak.
And they use that ambiguous, like, my kid's floating. Obviously, kids don't float, but that's an expression of, like, it's not typical for kids to float. Correct. So there's something different about it. And so that's it's ambiguous. Anybody who's got a child that is experiencing something different can relate to it. Right. And we, as people who see something different, can go, "Oh, there's nothing wrong, you know, with that. Just let them float. Are they
Yeah.
hurting anyone? No.
So I just love like the floats and also all the other Spark shorts.
They're good.
They're all really good because they really make you think and ponder, which you don't expect that from like an animation short or
Right.
And so it's just a nice perspective, and so I really enjoyed those and how like the directors and the creators of that really pushed the limit.
Yeah, I saw that with like Out, where it's about a character story coming out because his dog basically tells him like, "Hey, I'm gay,"
Right.
and it was awkward for like I think everyone it was awkward for the son who didn't do it on his terms in the sense where it's a like he was ashamed, and I think it just doesn't have to apply to to the LGBTQ community. It can apply to anyone.
Yes.
Every kid has had something that they wanted to do that wasn't in line with their parents, and so they can relate to where like they had to hide it until it couldn't stay hidden anymore. And so I thought that was it has the one message, but there's also like a meta message in there that can relate to everyone.
Correct.
And Jack, you've hit on that where it's like these Spark ones are hitting at a meta level to everyone. Yes,
Correct.
it's for one group of people, but it really hits on the human experience, and everyone can relate to it, and that's why it's like it pulls on those heartstrings when you see them. Like you got the mom, the Bao with the little the little dumplings,
Yes.
Bao with the dumplings, and until it gets to the
that's-
point where she
yes.
consumes the dumpling, and then in the end, it's like food really brings us together. Whether you eat your child or.
I love him getting hit in the head with a soccer ball, and it's just like it's all flat.
She's like, "Oh, Pixie love," his moms. And it was a
yeah.
very good story of like I think the parent experience. And
Yeah, I think it does a good job of showing that, and I do not look forward to that time when my kids are moving out the door. Like I see that, I'm like, oh, it's gonna happen to me. Oh,
kids growing up quick.
They are
Yeah.
too fast.
All right, which one do you like, Peter? What's one that's popping into your mind?
I would be sore to not mention Lava.
Oh, that made me cry the first time
Lava.
I watched it.
It's okay. That's my point
What's
of
what
view.
I got? A lot of people, it's like, it's great. Me, I was just like out of a divorce and like trying to find love, and I was like, it's me. I want my love. I just thought it hit me so good.
I think part of it was Mother Yoder was really hyping it up to me.
Oh, okay.
Like, best short ever, you'll cry, and I watch it and I go, it's okay.
I did the same thing with my wife's like, it's beautiful, and she's like, it's alright.
Right.
And I was like, man, what is it like?
Yeah, I know. I have the same issue with my wife where I'm all like, you gotta listen to this song. She goes, so what did you want me to hear out of this song? I'm like, oh, you didn't catch it.
You want romantic soul, you.
No, but I love Lava. I know the backstory behind it. Where like when they came up with it, the inspiration came from the Over the Rainbow song, the Hawaiian. And so when they were writing it, the two singers, they're actually from the same island tribe.
Oh,
they're
cool.
from the same island.
Oh, nice.
So they knew each other.
That's
so that was
fun.
kind of like a fun story. But it's just, the music's so good. You sing along with it. You're like, I have a dream I hope will come true. Like, it's great because I related to it in that sense because I knew what it was like to want that.
Yeah, you're kind of just out there by yourself. And that's how it is in the dating scene. You're like, I'm by myself. Here I am. Love me. And you're just waiting around for that volcano, that person to walk through that door, and you're like, you're the one.
And just the worst part was just watching him like sink into the sea, like seeing his dream die. Like I was just like, oh,
don't give up.
Yeah,
keep going. Yeah, and you see that with people who they just want to be loved, and then they keep trying, and you're a catch, you can do it, and then they just, and they just wither away.
Yeah,
they lose that spark, and it's like
the fire.
You meet those people that were like they're romantics, and then like they get burned a couple times in love, and then they're just like, I'm done, I'm not doing it anymore, and you're just like, oh no, but you're such a great person, like there's somebody out there for you. You know, even at older ages, it's like, don't give up.
Yep.
It's just, and it has that great pun, you know? I love you.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought that was so creative. Like,
Yeah.
it just, who would, you know, you take something as threatening as a volcano and it turn it to something that you
It's
love.
a love story.
Something fun and soft and
Yeah.
It's on my daughter's YouTube feed where it pops up, and so I see it all the time. So I don't cry every time.
Correct.
But I'm like, it's a good song. So I was like, it's top of my list. And as I've gone through the list, it's like, oh, so I'll push it down a little bit more because there are other ones that popped up. But yeah, it's in the top half of the paper, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. One I want to mention is let's see here, Jack Jack Attack and Auntie Edna. They're both incredible.
The Incredible ones are fun.
The Incredible ones.
First one's the better one, in my opinion.
Jack
The
Jack
babysitter?
Attack.
Yes.
I just like both of them because they fill in like a little like hole in
It's
the
like
story.
a cutout scene. Like,
Yes.
You really missed out on it, but it really fills it in just right.
So Jack Jack Attack is basically what happened when the babysitter is watching Jack Jack as he's developing his powers.
Yes, they're coming into fruition.
Yes. And
All of them.
at the same time.
I
I'm the babysitter!
love that moment when she's been up all night.
Oh yes.
And she's got the heavy bags and the kid's doing this and that. That's like the first month of having a kid.
Yeah.
When you're like, I've got no sleep. Oh, okay, they woke up. All right, let me do this. Look at that. Oh, they're crying. Oh,
Well,
they're...
it's relatable in that sense of like, yeah, our babies don't have superpowers, but man, they have the ability to get into trouble. And they're like, oh no, don't touch it. Oh no. Oh, like
I
it's-
helicopter around my child all the
Right.
time. Don't put that in your mouth. No, we do not eat, this. We don't eat that. It's just like, no, that's
No more-
yucky.
no-
That's yucky.
No more cookies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was Aunt Edna. That was like,
Oh yes.
She has that with her little Dannon yogurt shakes, and she's drinking that, and it's like she's all done. She's like, all done, all done. And she does the hand signs, like all done, and she goes. "Ah!" I was like, sorry, you get one. Ice cream and M&Ms. Like she has to look at it and be like, there's no more, and just repeatedly with the hand signals, no more. And that monster come out. I was like, that's my child. And I was like, boy, who the crew that came up with this has experienced what all parents experience
Right.
is the meltdown of a child when they don't have something they don't like, or when they do like.
Yes.
What they do like.
Yeah.
So is there, Peter, was there a Cars one you like? Because there were so many Mater ones.
Heavy metal mater.
Heavy Metal Mater.
Heavy metal.
Oh.
There go,
Yeah.
Like, that was just so fun. How it's just like, he had just this local band, and they're just singing this little country song, dadgum.
Yeah. I
And
was
then-
a garage band. I was like, that's creative.
And then like he goes in the recording studio and there's a fly and the drummer's going nuts, and so it just turns into this heavy metal thing and it becomes this big heavy metal. So like I thought that was like
It's creative.
so fun.
Yeah.
And like
And you have the typical Mater, like, or when Lightning McQueen's like, that didn't happen.
it's like,
And
sure
Mater
you
be like,
did. You were there.
you were there too. And every time he like pops out and he's like, ah!
like the Tokyo race one.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's top one for me, for them, the Tokyo race, which is Mater was an import because he was towing a car across the ocean, and what was it? What did they use in the Muppets? Like, he used map drive or something like
Yeah,
that,
something
where
like
they go
that.
on the ocean and stuff like basically the same
Travel
concept.
by line, I think.
Yeah, travel by or travel by map or something like that.
Yeah.
Or map travel. You get the idea. So he brings this car back to Japan from the U.S. and he's thrown into a Tokyo drift race, and the loser has to be stuck, which is like great shame, I guess. I don't know, but it has that kind of like samurai battle, and Mater's just like, all right, let's do this, and he gets hooked up, and Mater. It's a fun one. I really enjoy that one. That one stuck to me. How about you, Jackie? You got one that's Mater one that stuck out?
Honestly, I didn't. Well, it's been a while since I've watched the Mater ones.
I like the astronaut one. Only
Yeah.
for a joke. He's like, what are astronauts like? What meal do astronauts like? And you're like, what? He's like, launch. I was like, oh, okay. You bumped up a couple spots on my list for that
Right.
one joke.
Right.
Yeah. There was one, I think it's an older Pixar short, the One Man Band.
I love that one too.
I
That's
think it's so
fun.
good. So it's basically this little girl, she has a coin, she's going to throw it in the fountain, and
These
What-
two street musicians.
yes, are competing.
Very talented, I have to say.
yeah.
Extremely
Yes.
talented.
Are trying to get the coin, right? Because there's no one else in the courtyard or whatnot, and they're doing all these like crazy acts and street performers
So-
and
Dick Van Dyke's Bert's,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
one man band to the next level.
Yes.
and then the coin gets dropped in a drain, and she's just sad, and then she takes.
I love her sass. Like,
Oh,
give it to me.
I love that she's like asking them for the coin.
Yeah.
It's their fault.
give me the coin.
no, like, they're like, oh no.
We don't have it, and
And
then
so-
she's like, "Give me one of your violins."
And then she ends up getting a whole bag full of money.
Money.
And I love the taunt at the end. She has two, and they're like, yeah, and she throws it up into the
The
fountain.
top part of the fountain.
And they're like, no.
It was fun.
I just loved it. It was like, "Don't be too greedy."
I just love the little sass little kid.
Yes.
So just that hand part. It's like, give me.
Yes.
You owe me it.
Yo.
It was a fun moment.
Mm-hmm.
I got Burrow.
Oh, I love that one. That one's on my
It has
list.
Fantasia feeling to
Oh,
it.
yes.
I'm a sucker for classical music involved, and so just see this little sassy rabbit. No, that's Presto. Sorry, two rabbits right next to each other. So you have a rabbit that's digging to find her own home, burrowing into the ground, bumps into the other, subterranean animals, and eventually bumps into the water table. And it took the community to, divert the water to where it didn't flood all their homes, and then they all worked together, got them a home.
It's that sense of like it's very relatable in the sense of especially like our society today where everyone's very isolated.
Yes.
No one really speaks to their neighbors anymore, and like that little rabbit whatever has that mentality of like I don't want to be next to you.
Yeah, everyone was welcoming.
Yeah.
They popped in. They're like, "Hey!"
Correct, and he's like, "Oh no, we're gonna go somewhere else."
Yeah. Keep digging deeper and deeper.
Correct, and then eventually, like they come to the realization, like it's better that we're all in the same community together. Like I love the message at the end.
Oh yeah, being in the same community, okay to ask for help.
Yeah, the badger.
Yeah.
He was so mean. He's like, I need help. I like at the end because I was like, who did the music? And it's music by Wolfie Mozart. And I was like, okay, so it's a Mozart piece.
And they use a different type of animation style
Yes.
on it, which I enjoyed. It's kind of that like anime kind of style, I would say.
Yeah, I got that feel of like those Japanese.
Hell Moving Castle, like
Yeah,
What are those? I don't know the names of them, but the ones that are owned by the company, Disney company, the anime films.
the Miyazaki films.
I think
that's
so.
it.
That's it.
Yes.
Are they their own, or are they just distributed?
Distributed.
Oh, that's fine.
Because Disney doesn't really own them. They just had the distribution rights to some of them, like
Yes.
Kiki's and
Yeah,
Owls.
Is that
you-
Totoro? Is it? same?
yeah, I don't think that one was
No.
distributed by Disney.
Okay.
but you can watch them all on HBO Max.
The company that shall not be named.
We do not mention such streaming services.
One that popped up was George and AJ. So it was kind of like Up,
Mm-hmm.
where like you see like
That was
the
a fun
orderlies come
story.
out.
That was a fun story. I really enjoyed.
You
that
just
one.
didn't see that twist where like the old people in the retirement homes see like we can fight back, and so
Right.
there's different ways of everyone trying to preserve their house or to prevent these
Yeah,
orderlies
that
are like
was
I'm just
fun.
trying to do my job, and like all these old people just take it out on them. Their car just keeps getting beat up.
Right, that was fun.
So
So
it's-
like the house being dragged by the army of cats.
Yes.
That was fun. Like, and
You
these
won't get
workers are just like petrified with all the things that
What
they
am I
see.
gonna see today?
Right.
That one caught me off guard. I was like, okay, that one's good.
I did enjoy staying on the Up theme is Doug's special day. Like
Oh, yeah,
I felt
his
like
birthday.
that was a
Oh.
great addition to the movie.
It
you
feeds
know,
into what
it feeds
happens.
into And like you really get that connection for Doug, that it's like it's his birthday and it was the happiest day of his life because he met his new master.
Yeah.
Like it's funny, it's silly because the other dogs are trying to get him just to stay out of the way, but inadvertently it causes them for the bird to get away.
I will watch the rock. I will sit in the hole. Alpha, I sat in the hole. What are you doing here? Yeah.
But it has that happy ending of like this was the best day.
Yeah, it was good.
So there was one that kind of reminded me of like the kind of old time animation, which is Day and Night.
Oh yes, that was a fun one.
So you have an animation of day and night, and they're like the background's just like a black screen basically.
Yeah. But the character is clear.
But the character is.
You can see through the character.
Yes.
To see what that area looks like either in day or night, depending on which character you're looking at.
Right. And I just love the story because they're all just like showing each other like what's better, day or night, and then
the good and the bad.
Right.
Like Day's like, oh wow, you got a swimming pool, and he goes there and the pool's all closed off. And he's like, what the heck?
Or like the Las Vegas one, they're like, oh, we've got Las Vegas. He's like, no, let me show you my Las Vegas like night does, and it's all like shiny and stuff. But then they come together and it's like the sunset
and the sunrise at the right moment. It's like, hey, we're together. We're not bad. It like shows that difference and like, yeah, we're different, but we can appreciate what's good.
Right.
With the good with day and night.
I just got the feel of like I feel like that's something like a short Walt Disney would have created.
Yes. I would agree with that. That was definitely
not Party Central?
No.
You don't see Walt doing that?
No.
Or, Walt, I heard Walt was such a door jammer like no other. Releasing a can of Scream to cross fire, Let's see, what else did I have?
I'll share one.
Yeah.
I had, I think it's called Bounden. That's the one with the sheep who get shaved.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
You give me
the jackalope.
The jackalope, yeah. Yeah, you give me a good song, I'm hooked. Like it had a great narrative to it, about the sheep who's just, was very popular and happy and dancing because it was all beautiful with its wool, and then it gets shaved and becomes mocked, and then the jackalope's like, what's wrong with you? Like, there's nothing wrong with you. You can still be happy with what you have. Like, you're more than just the wool. You're so much more than that. Yeah. And that's the message I love that it gave. It's just like, you're so much more than what you think you are.
Yeah. Let's kind of wrap it up here, I think. Any last shorts we want to talk about?
How about our Toy Story ones? Those really, I felt like,
there were a variety,
launched
some of them were
the
really
shorts. Good. That really made them popular, I think, was seeing those type of shorts. There's the Ken and Barbie, the Hawaii Vacation.
Yes.
The Hawaiian Vacation was a fun one. That one's definitely...
It continues the Toy Story 3 story. Like, Toy Story 3, I felt... Like, I think it should have ended there, and you were just going to get a bunch of shorts of the continuation of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
And it progressed it in a positive way of, like, that thought that I was like, Toy Story 3 should end here, and we should get little shorts, because it just fed, like, Ken and Barbie. We thought they were going to go to Hawaii, and Ken had this plane who was going to kiss her, and they didn't make it onto the right luggage, and so they're there at Bonnie's, house with all the toys, and so the toys work together to, recreate the hotel. And I love that they're like, oh, here, welcome to this hotel. I thought we were at a resort, and they take the sticky note, put it on there. Welcome to this resort. Oh, good, we're right here then. Like when he kisses, Ken's leg goes up, not Barbie's.
Right.
I just think of like the Princess Diary.
Oh, the pop.
The pop, yes, the pop.
I love the scuba. They're scuba diving at the TV, and they're like, watch this, and it's like Jaws, like ah,
they're like ah,
yeah. That's great.
that
was a great short, and then of course we can't not talk about Party Source Rex.
Oh yeah.
We're going back to some party here.
Oh, I love the Party Story Rex.
It gave Rex a good story, because I feel like Rex always kind of got.
He's the punching bag for Potato
Yeah.
Head. He's clumsy. He gets them into trouble. He's awkward.
He's the
big.
joke of
everything.
The butt of the joke.
the
like,
butt of the joke, yeah.
And so he really got a time to shine in this short, you know? Like, the music was popping, and, like, it was like, Partysaurus, you're the Partysaurus, man.
I love
it was great.
They're like, oh, can you get us in there? And he'd always had that doubt of, like, old Rex.
Yes.
And then Mr. Potato would be like, Party Pooper Rex, Party Pooper Rex. And he's like, no, more the merrier, and throws them in.
It's like, we're going to go over the edge. We're going to go over the edge.
They're like,
we're going over the edge.
He's like trying to fix it. And
he makes it even crazier.
He makes the party more fun. And I love how he's got the little octopus, like, red, like, legs that make it look like he's got hair. And he's got the Bubbles Viking helmet on. And he's got the beads. And it says Rex on there. He just looks, it's a rave. And that's what makes it so fun. The lights and everyone is just having a good old time.
And then at the end, you know, nobody believes him that he was Partysaurus. He's like, no, you weren't. And then it's like, Partysaurus Rex out here in the yard. The yard toys hear about it. They're like, duty calls. And he jumps out there.
And they're just having a good old time. And there's a little message there. It's like, yeah, in one group of people, you may be the butt of the joke. But to another group, you could be
the life of
the party. So, you know, don't let one group of people define who you are. And so that's what I loved about that story. Because it's like Rex, you feel for him. And this time it's like, wow, you can appreciate Rex. And then they did like another story with Rex. And what was the other dinosaur? Where they stumble upon toys that have never been played with.
Oh yes, the
it's a 20-minute, like, it's not really a short. It's like
the Toy Story, the land that time forgot, something like that.
Yes, the Toy Story that time forgot. Here, Rex and Trixie are stumbled upon a medieval dino society, the Battlesaurs, where they haven't been played with because the kid is playing video games all the time, and he's got all these toys, and it's like, okay, this is definitely a PA for parents to be like, you got unplayed with toys here, and imagination's not getting utilized. You know, they're getting fed their imagination through video games, and you know, you forget that you see Bonnie, and she's just so creative, like, hi toys, bye toys, right? You know, and we have our own kids where they sit there and they watch YouTube, play video games, and you're like, you've got a room full of toys. Yeah. Go, be creative. I've given you the tools. And they're like, I've done this, and like, Roblox songs and Wiggles and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's, you know, there's great messages in there, and I think that's what we get a lot from these shorts.
Absolutely, I love the Pixar shorts. They're all of the thought that's put into it, all the messages that they want to share with other people in the world. It's great for learning for kids and even adults.
They just make you feel good. So if you just want something casual and calming, like,
it's something good to watch on a bad day. Like, you come home,
this is
bad
a good
day
recipe.
at work.
I like that, Jack. You just
put on some Pixar shorts.
They're not long.
Not committal. Like I said, the longest one was the Toy Story that time forgot. It was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw this, I'll just skip ahead a little bit. But it's like, but a lot of these are like 6 minutes, and like 3 minutes of that are like the credits from like Norway and Germany and like, you know, India. You know, you go, okay.
And there are so many that we didn't even talk about that are so good. There are some that are kind of like meh, especially some of the earlier ones, but you know, you got to keep in mind the time when computer animation really wasn't a thing, you know. The creepy clown on the unicycle one. That one was a little hard, but
there's time to let those, like, you know, like, let me watch this to appreciate what I've got now.
Correct. Yes.
It's what it is. It's an appreciation of craftsmanship, because I couldn't design that creepy baby, so they're doing way better than I am.
It would be a lot creepier. But yeah, so I love the messages with the shorts. They're relatable. Everyone can watch them. So if you're having a bad day, put on a Pixar short. I think it will make your day. But that's all the time we have. Let us know what are some of your favorite Pixar shorts, what you love about them. You can contact us on our Facebook page, our Instagram, Matterhorn Yodelers. We are also, you can email us at matterhornyodlers@gmail.com. You can listen to our audio on almost all streaming like podcast services, as well as YouTube. And let us know your thoughts. We love to hear from you all. And have a magical day.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember, before your bobsled comes to a complete stop, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember...
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.